Hello, this is Lilia Salmira, your holistic practitioner, checking in with you again. Today I'd like to talk to you about depression. Depression is an extremely serious condition. It affects so many people at various times in their life. And although we all like to shy away from labels, as many as 1 in 10 people in the UK population will suffer from a mixture of anxiety or depression in any given year, and that's a pretty frightening statistic. A lot of it is avoidable, and I'd like to give you a few pointers on how we can address it and make life a lot better. But first of all, for those lucky people who don't know what we're talking about, what is depression? Depression is when you feel utterly miserable. You can't get up in the morning, you don't want to move, everything just shuts down, you lose your joy, you feel desperate, you can't raise the energy to get off the sofa, you just want to sit in front of the TV or hide underneath your duvet cover. There's huge introspection, there's a loss of get up and go, there's a feeling of inadequacy, there's a lot of am I good enough, am I worthy, and there's no amount of come on, cheer up, let's get going, will make a difference when you're in that place. There are many causes, and some of them are really misunderstood, and one of them in particular I'm going to come to at the end, because I believe for those of you who've been gripped by this for a long period of time, this will be absolutely the golden nugget that you've been wanting to hear for a long time. But for most people, the causes are emotional, and there are some physical ones, but the emotional ones generally come from some sort of loss. Somebody has died, you've lost a close friend, you've lost your job, your way of living, you don't know what direction you're going in, you've got no purpose in your life. And those are the main things that basically have people going into this very uncomfortable place. And then there are the physical triggers, which are very common, particularly in today's very busy, stressful, technological lifestyle. And for a lot of people, it comes down to adrenals. You have been stressed and busy for so long that you have depleted all of your resources, and your adrenals have absolutely nothing left to call upon. And as a result, your body will deliberately shut you down as a mechanism to looking after you, to stop you from depleting the few resources that you have left in order to preserve things like your respiration, your heartbeat, your brain, all the really important things. Everything's important, but your life is, the way you move forward. Those resources are always looked after, and this is your body's way of going, actually, we need to preserve some things, so you need to slow down. Rebuilding the adrenals can take a little bit of time. It may need some fairly dramatic lifestyle changes, and it may need some changes of jobs, environment, but also good supplementation can have huge benefits in supporting adrenals. Food is also a really big issue as well in getting your life back. We're going to come on to that one in a minute. The other causes, physical causes, are toxicity. Toxicity can build from a massive amount of accumulation of heavy metals in the body. It's the industry, it's the way, the air we breathe, it's in our foods, it's in our packaging, and we're talking about things like cadmium, aluminium, lead, mercury. And then there's the general build-up from things of the chemical fog, of pesticides and herbicides. There's the solvents in the air that we breathe, and the cleaners in our household, and the perfumes, and all of these household products that we just don't even think about. And they have a huge impact because they settle into areas of the body that are really important for your glands and your demeanor. Things like your pituitary and your pineal gland, they are very susceptible to this sort of toxicity. Again, your thalamus and your hypothalamus. And having toxicity in these areas can really affect your hormones and your endocrine system. So something to be aware of. So instead of going off and rushing out and getting more hormones and things that will help in that area, look at why they're being disrupted in the first place. Another factor to consider with depression is a regular intake of MSG. Look at the foods you're eating. A lot of processed foods have a lot of MSG in them, and MSG has been known and found in various testing to trigger huge bouts of depression. So this is a really good solid reason for you to look at what you put in your mouth and the foods you eat. You need a really good, healthy, varied diet of live food. One of the big contributors, which we don't think about a lot but can make the difference of night and day in your demeanor, is white refined sugar. People do not appreciate how much processed sugar can exacerbate depression. Sugar gives you that glorious high. It's massively addictive. We all want it. But what follows is this vice-like grip of the downer. And for people who are prone to depression, that downer can last 36 to 40 hours or more before you haul yourself out from this really horrifying depth that you find yourself in. Simply kill the sugar. Cut out those refined sugars from all the foods, like the cakes, the biscuits, the cereals. Cereals at breakfast time are laden with sugar. Sweets, the sugar in your tea and your coffee, your fizzy drinks, which are in aluminium cans, by the way. All of this stuff, you will notice a significant difference if you can cut out the sugar. It is going to take some willpower, but it's well worth doing, and you will notice in a very short period of time how your demeanor should lift. So this is a really good reason how food can impact your lifestyle. So I'm going to touch on a few of the foods and a few of the things that we can do. First of all, it's a no-brainer. You need earth-grown, pasture-raised, fresh food that is as organic as you can afford. This will help you in the depths of depression. It will help you at any time of your life. The food that is organic, your body recognizes, it knows what to do with. Whereas food that's been packaged and processed, the body has to work out what on earth is good and what isn't bad, and what's plastic, and E numbers, and we really don't need that. I'm going to give you an idea of some of the foods that will really support you when you're in a miserable low place. These are wild blueberries. Make sure they're organic. Wild obviously is wild, but check your packaging for that. Spinach, hemp seeds, coriander, sometimes known as cilantro, walnuts, coconut oil, sprouts. That's the sprouting beans and the Brussels sprouts. They are really good cruciferous vegetables, are amazing for you. Kale, apricot, avocados, great for the oil content that they have for you. And those are the things, if you get those on board on a regular basis, your life will feel a lot better. A lot of people turn to supplementation. It has its place. It is excellent if you know what you're doing. And I'm going to give you an idea of some of the basic things that a lot of people use for depression. Please look at this. You're going to do it with your healthcare practitioner, and if you want any advice or guidance, I would be very happy to help you through this. Make an appointment to see me. GABA. GABA is absolutely amazing. It supports the nervous system and your neurotransmitters. It helps regulate your sleep patterns. For those of you who keep waking up, it will help you to stay asleep for longer, and it will help with your sleep quality. Insomnia is a big aspect of being depressed. You can't sleep, you're worried, your brain's going. GABA may be a really good friend to you in that regard. 5-HTP or 5-hydroxytryptophan is wonderful for bolstering the neurotransmitters once again. Again, it helps with mood. Something to consider and talk with your health practitioner. Oils are really important. Your brain needs oils, your joints need oils, and EPA and DHA are the two ones that most people are familiar with. They are great for repairing and strengthening the nervous system. I would advise you strongly to look for plant-based oils now. There is so much toxicity in the fish that we're finding at sea, and there's big contamination issues. Unless you know your source very well, I would advise you to go for plant-based ones. There's lots of very good algae-based EPA and DHA, so you could go and have a look at that. A B complex is good for any busy person at any time, and it helps protect all areas of the body. especially it's going to support your brain and your brainstem. And since most of the depression is, oh my god, I feel awful, you're down, it's a brain thing, that will definitely help you. Magnesium, everybody's short of magnesium. It's required for virtually every metabolic process in the body. Most people are short of it all the time. It's a great relaxer, it's a great calmer down. Transdermal magnesium is something that I recommend very much. It's a brilliant product, I've got nothing to do with it, called Magnesium Ease. Excellent to put on after you've had a bath or a shower, it doesn't itch. A really good one to have on board. Rhodiola is another product that people use when they're sort of feeling a bit low. It can help strengthen your endocrine system, and it's great for your thyroid and your adrenals, and it assists with the vascular systems. Great, another great thing to have on board, useful to have in your cupboard at many times of your life. Lemon balm, great for reducing inflammation and supporting the central nervous system. You can see there's a pattern here with these. They're all supporting your central nervous system. They're all supporting your neurotransmitters. They're all supporting inflammation. And these are the areas that you need to be looking at when you are depressed. Vitamin C, something everybody should have in their cupboard. If you can get an ester formulation, then it's much gentler on the stomach. Great for bringing down inflammation, great for supporting glands, great for the immune system, detoxification, inflammation on so many levels. Vitamin C is our best friend to have in the cupboard at all times. And one of the last things when you're depressed, everything that goes on in the brain is very, very much affected by what goes on in your digestion. Licorice root is amazing for the digestion. It's great for the endocrine system. It solves a lot of problems. A good friend to have, one to look at. So there's a small list of things there that you can have a look at, do some research on, talk to your health practitioner, and see if it lifts you from that place. And if you're going to be taking these in capsule form or tincture form and you need to wash it down, make sure you have a good water. There is no point chucking it down with a toxic form of liquid. Make sure you have really good spring water. If you can get it in glass, it's very preferable to getting it in plastics and all that goes with plastics. So let's look at this from another angle. You've tried everything. You've been depressed for a long time. You've tried the supplementation. You've tried all the improved health lifestyle changes that you possibly could, and yet you still lack energy all the time. You still wake up feeling really tired regardless of what early time you went to bed, and you feel like you've got a flat battery. This is the experience of many, many people, and they are on a vicious circle and they don't know how to get out of it. Well, I'm hoping I'm going to give you a golden nugget here. One of the aspects of depression that is not spoken about very often, because a lot of people are not aware of it, is if your mitochondria, which are the powerhouses in the cells in your body, are damaged, if they're not working properly, then they're not able to provide the power to create the energy for the resources in your body. And so essentially you have a flat battery. Now, if you've got a car and it's got a flat battery, it's really simple. You jump start the car and keep it running for a while, and away you go, and the battery gets charged. But in life, the mitochondria in your cells is really, really delicate. It's very easily damaged. And if you have been abusing it through having a really stressful period of time, it could be emotional, it could be physical, at some point it's just going to go, I can't cope. And this is where mitochondrial therapy will come into hand. And what you need to do is to find somebody who does this work with a cardiovascular device, and we're looking at giving somebody a heart rate variability test which lasts all of 5 minutes, where they can test for the power that is being given off by the mitochondria and where those resources are going to. And if you are low in those resources, then very special protocols can be given to you, very special formulations that the mitochondria recognize, that can kickstart that battery, for want of a better word, so that you have the power to provide the energy to the resources that need it. So it's not just your respiration, your heart and your brain. Your endocrine is going to be served, your digestion is going to be served. All of those things that are regarded as non-essential to the main factors in your life can then start to have energy. So you can get your life back. Your hair, skin and nails can start to look great. your eyes can look sharp, your organs are going to work properly, and you can start to get your life back. Because there are people who have, doesn't matter what supplements they take, what lifestyle changes they have, it doesn't make a difference. And that's because their battery is so flat, they do not have the resources to assimilate it. And if you are one of those people, then please get in touch with me. Click on the link above at liliusalmira.com and make an appointment with me to have some mitochondrial therapy with a Cardivar device, and we will see what we can do to give you your life back and get that joy back, because there's nothing worse than being depressed. Everybody deserves to have a solution in their lives. I believe there is always a solution, and this might be your ticket to coming home to the life that you used to have and that you used to recognize, not the one that you feel you've been stuck with for a long time. I hope this has been useful to you. If you've got any questions, please email me. If you'd like to make an appointment, as I say, go to the website, click on the link liliusalmira.com, and I will do the very best I can to give you your life back and get you back on the right track again. Many thanks indeed. Goodbye.